Good morning, all of you. I am Nishant Katiyar from Faculty of Assistant Professor, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Rama University, Kanpur. Today, my lecture topic is Introduction to Pharmacology. Here we discuss about the basics of pharmacology. So, first we discuss about the pharmacology definition. So, what is pharmacology? Pharmacology is the science of drugs. Science of drugs. We study about the drugs. Here we study about science of drug. It deals with exogenously administered chemical molecules with the living system. It encompasses all aspects of knowledge, but most importantly that is safe and effective use for medicinal purposes. Here exogenously administered chemical compounds means it is the compound or drug that is administered from outside of the body. And the pharmacology is divided into two divisions. First one is pharmacodynamics and second one is pharmacokinetics. So first one is pharmacodynamics. Pharmacodynamics is refers what the drug does to the body. It includes the mechanism of action of drug. And second division is pharmacokinetics. It means what the body does with the drug. And it refers to the alteration of the drug in the body. It includes absorption of drug, distribution of drug, biotransformation or metabolism of drug, and excretion of drug from the body. For example, if in pharmacokinetics example like paracetamol, it is almost completely absorbed orally, and its peak plasma blood level attain in 30 to 60 minutes. Then it is bind to plasma protein, 25% bind to plasma proteins and uniformly distributed throughout the body, extensively metabolized in liver and excreted in urine, and its T half is 2 to 3 hours. So the pharmacokinetics of paracetamol means absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion. How absorption, distribution, metabolism and excretion occurs. This study we study in pharmacokinetic division. Now we discuss about the what is the drug. What is how we define the drug. Drug is a single active chemical entity that is present in a medicament and used for diagnosis, prevention or treatment of a disease. And then we go to clinical pharmacology. What is clinical pharmacology? Basically, one is a preclinical pharmacology. In preclinical pharmacology, we study the uh, trial of drugs or study of drugs in laboratory animals. But here clinical pharmacology, in clinical pharmacology we study the scientific study of drugs in human beings and evaluation of efficacy and safety of drugs in humans, and study the pharmacokinetic and dynamic parameters of drugs in healthy volunteers and patients. Now we discussed about the receptor. Receptor means in which the drug or chemicals is bind, and we define receptor is a macromolecule or binding site in which a drug is bind, and it serve to recognize the signal molecule. Signal molecules means drug, and itself it has no other functions. So receptors are many times we discuss about the types of receptors in later, but we discuss about the affinity. What is affinity? Affinity is the ability of a drug to bind a receptor. So when a drug is bind to the receptor, that is called affinity. Means that drug has affinity. And second one is intrinsic activity. It is the ability of a drug to produce a response after binding to the receptor. Means when a drug bind to the receptors and produce their response, that is called intrinsic activity. uh, Now we go to the agonist. What is agonist? Agonist means an agent which activates the receptors to produce an effect. when a drug bind to the receptors and then that receptors is activate and produce effect, that is called agonist and antagonist. Antagonist means bind to the receptor and prevent the action of agonist to the receptor. Here as we discuss about the affinity and intrinsic activity, here we can correlate that agonist has affinity but no intrinsic activity, means agonist prevent bind to the receptors and prevent the effect of agonist. Antagonist bind to the receptors and prevent the effect of agonist, but it has no its own function, means it has affinity but no intrinsic activity. Now antagonist is subdivided into four classes, that is number one is physical antagonist. Physical antagonist means it depends on physical property of the drug. Physical property of the drug, as example, like charcoal. Charcoal adsorb alkaloids, so it is used in alkaloidal poisoning. Charcoal has physical property to of adsorption, and it prevents the absorption of alkaloids from the GIT. And the second antagonism is chemical antagonism. Chemical antagonism depends on the chemical properties of the drug. When two drugs react chemically, when two drugs given simultaneously, it reacts chemically and form an inactive product. And example of chemical antagonist is tannins. If tannins and alkaloids given simultaneously, it form insoluble alkaloidal tannate, means it forms the precipitation of alkaloids and form alkaloidal tannate. And third antagonism is physiological antagonism. Physiological antagonism means when two drugs act at different receptors or by different mechanism. Two drugs act by different receptors or by different mechanism. For example, glucagon and insulin at blood sugar level. Here glucagon, that is a hormone that increase the blood sugar level, and insulin decrease the blood sugar level. So they two drugs are physiological molecules oppose the action of one another and maintain the blood glucose level in normal condition. And last and fourth one is receptor antagonism. Receptor antagonism means it act when two drugs act or compete for the same receptor, it binds to the same receptor, that is called receptor antagonism. Receptor antagonism once again subdivided into two types, one is competitive antagonism and second is non-competitive antagonism. The agonist and competitive antagonism, the agonist and antagonist compete for the same receptor, and when the concentration of agonist increase, the antagonism is overcome, means antagonism the agonist displace the antagonist from that particular receptor. Example like acetylcholine and atropine. Acetylcholine and atropine, they both are competitive antagonism. Acetylcholine is agonist and atropine is antagonist. When it is compete for muscarinic receptor, so atropine, if the concentration of acetylcholine is increased, it is overcome the antagonism of atropine. Second one is non-competitive antagonism. In non-competitive antagonism, the antagonist bind to the receptor covalently. It is a strong bond. It is displaced very. It is not displaced easily and sometimes not at all. So when the concentration of agonist is increased, the non-competitive antagonism cannot be overcome. Now we discuss the fundamental mechanism or basic mechanism of drug action, means and how drugs act by different mechanism. Here we discuss about the fundamental mechanism of drug action. So most of the drug produce their effect by binding to the receptors or inhibiting the enzymes or ion channels. So different mechanism by which the drug act. So the basic and fundamental mechanism of drug action are six types. Number one is through receptors, second one is through enzymes, third one is through ion channels, fourth mechanism is by physical action, means physical property of the drug, and fifth one is by chemical interaction, and last one, six, is by altering metabolic processes. So now we discuss the first fundamental mechanism of drug action, means through receptors. In receptors, a drug is bind or interact with the receptors and produce their effect. Like example is acetylcholine. Acetylcholine bind to the muscarinic receptors present in the body, like M2 receptors present in heart, and produce their effect with interacting with receptors. Second one, through enzymes. Many drugs produce their action by interfere or inhibiting or altering the action of enzymes. For example, aspirin, it is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. It inhibits cyclooxygenase enzyme. Cyclooxygenase enzyme, after inhibition of cyclooxygenase enzymes, the further process of formation of prostaglandins is inhibited and inflammation is reduced. Second example for this enzyme mechanism is hydrogen potassium ATPase, that is inhibited by omeprazole, and it is used in gastric ulcer. And third mechanism is through ion channels. Some drugs or certain drugs act by altering the passage of ions across the ion channels. The examples are calcium channels blocker and sodium channels blockers. Like calcium channels blockers are used in hypertension. Fourth mechanism is by physical action. This is depends on physical property of the drug, like adsorption, charcoal, activated charcoal. Activated charcoal has physical property of adsorption. So when it is given in poisoning, it adsorbs the poison and further it inhibit the absorption of poison from the GIT. And next, fifth one is by chemical interaction. Chemical interaction means it is the chemical properties of the drug. It depends or it act on chemical properties of the drug, like antacids. Antacids neutralize the gastric acid and increase the pH of stomach, and used in GERD and peptic ulcer. And last one is by altering metabolic pathway. Certain drugs like antimicrobials, they alter the metabolic pathway in the microorganism. For example, like sulfonamides, antibiotic interfere with bacterial folic acid synthesis. They alter the metabolic pathway in the microorganism and kill, by that action they kill the microorganism. This is the last mechanism of action. Now we discuss about the combined effects of drugs. Means when two or more than two drugs are given simultaneously, the effect may be synergistic or antagonistic. Means when two drugs given simultaneously, the effect may be greater than two drugs or less than effect of two drugs. So synergism is the when two drugs given simultaneously, the effect is greater than the individual effects of two drugs. Synergism is divided into two types. One is additive and the second one is supra-additive effect. In additive, when two drugs are given, the effect of two drugs simply adds up. Means effect of drug A plus B is simply equal to effect of drug A plus individual effect of drug B. For example, like aspirin and paracetamol, when given together, they produce effect analgesic and antipyretic. Simply adds up is equal to effect. And supra-additive, in supra-additive, when two drugs are given up, the effect of drug A plus B is greater than the individual effect of drug A plus individual effect of drug B. Means two drugs enhance the action of one drug enhance the action of other drugs. Example is levodopa and carbidopa. These are anti-Parkinson drugs. When they given together, they produce more effect as Parkinsonism. Second one is antagonist. In antagonist, the effect of one drug is prevent or abolish. The effect of one drug is prevent or abolish by the another drug. That is called antagonism. Antagonism, for example, like effect of drug A plus B is less than individual effect of drug A plus individual effect of drug B. So on the depending upon the types of antagonism is divided into once again in four groups. One is physical antagonism, second one is chemical antagonism, third one is physiological antagonism, and fourth one is receptor antagonism. Physical antagonism means it depends on the physical property of the drug. Means that drugs has that physical property. Like example is activated charcoal. Activated charcoal has a property of adsorption. So when activated charcoal is given in alkaloidal poisoning, it adsorbs the alkaloids and prevents the poisoning of alkaloid. Second one is chemical antagonism. Chemical antagonism depends on the chemical property of the drug. When two drugs are given, they interact chemically and prevent the action of each other. Like alkaloid and tannic acid, when given simultaneously, they form a precipitate and it does not absorb from the GIT. Third one is physiological antagonism. In physiological antagonism, it depends on the it acts by the different mechanism, and in physiological antagonism, the one drug prevent the action of another drug, like insulin and glucagon. And insulin and glucagon is a physiological antagonism where insulin decrease the blood glucose level, as well as in another side glucagon increase the blood glucose level, and they maintain that physiological process. Second one is receptor antagonism. In receptor antagonism, one drug binds to antagonist, prevent the binding of agonist to the receptor site. Example of receptor antagonist like atropine. Atropine prevent the binding of acetylcholine, that is agonist. So today we discuss about the introduction of pharmacology, means basic of pharmacology. Here we discuss about the what is pharmacology, divisions of pharmacology like pharmacodynamics and kinetics, and then receptor and agonist antagonist concept, and the combined effect of drugs. So here we covered 2-3 topics, that is basic topic for understanding of further pharmacology. So in next topic we discuss about the cholinergic drugs and how the drugs act on the cholinergic system. Thank you.